Hey guys, it's still raining. This is awesome. Have we needed this? This is just absolutely incredible. Guys, we're talking about 1 Thessalonians. We're in chapter 1. We're talking about different characteristics of what believers' lives should epitomize. We're talking right now about waiting upon the Lord. Now we read in Psalms that those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. So I wonder what they're going to have strength for. When you're waiting, it doesn't sound like you need a lot of strength for that, because you just kind of had this picture in your mind that you just kind of parking off, waiting, complacently for things to happen. That's not a good picture of what the Christian experience is about. Waiting, when you're waiting upon the Lord to renew your strength, infers very clearly that with waiting there is work. Work that is going to require strength. Working that is going to require energy and capacity and doing something. And that's what the Christian experience, people, is pretty much all about. So when we wait, we work. And working is something the Apostle Paul did really well. He was waiting for the same thing as we're waiting. He's waiting for the second coming of Jesus. He's waiting for that day when we will leave this planet, and whether it be by death or by the rapture or whatever it may be, he's waiting for that day when he will stand before God face to face. But he doesn't want to stand empty-handed. You see, the tragedy is, I think this, is that so many people become believers because they have this kind of deathbed theology thing going, where they think, I'll just become a Christian so that when I die, I go to heaven. And I love the fact that when we die, we go to heaven. But God's saying, if that's your thinking, you've totally missed the point. You have been saved to serve. Did we not say that the other day? And while you wait for that which is still to come, you jolly well work. God has got stuff for you to do. God has got a purpose for you to fulfill. And work is part of what waiting is all about. Imagine if when we became believers, we just said, right, I'm going to find another couple of believers and we're going to drift up into the mountains and hold hands and sing Kumbaya. That is not a picture that Christianity is meant to have. Sadly, some people do have that picture. But God has something for you to do. God has a purpose. He has a plan. And at the end of the day, you will get to stand before God and you'll get to answer the question that God will ask you. He's going to ask you and say, he's going to say to you, well, what did you do with what I gave you? What did you do with your talents, with your time, with your treasure? What have you done to extend my kingdom? This deathbed theology thing needs to be passed aside, and we go to heaven one day. It's wonderful. But before we do that, we've got work to do. Find your local church. Get involved with good people doing good things, like we said the other day. Serve others, and in so doing, you serving God. And allow God day by day just to show you what his purpose is. Allow God to show you day by day what the serving thing looks like. And while you're waiting for God to come and take you away and usher you into the land flowing with milk and honey, people, we've got work to do. Think of Joshua as I speak about that. I think of Joshua leading the people to the promised land. Even when they got into the promised land, which the promised land or the river Jordan is a picture of salvation. It's not a picture of go to heaven. It's a picture of salvation. Coming out of the wilderness of dry and dusty into a place of perfection and beauty. Problem was, there were giants in the land. And God said, if you want the land, you've got to get rid of the giants. You've got to work for the land. As much as God has given it to you, it still needs to be possessed. And it's by working you possess the inheritance of God. Oh my word. There's so much incredible truth in what I've just said. I hope you find the joy of that. I hope you find the joy involved in serving Jesus, of waiting upon the Lord, of him renewing your strength as eagles, that you can fly and not grow weary. And man, that's what it's all about. While you're waiting, we've got work to do. I hope God shows you what that may look like. Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.